We are pleased to have with us today several friends from Albuquerque Celebrate Recovery, and we're going to start today talking to Jeremy Light and Jennifer Weisberg. Jennifer and Jeremy, good to have you with us today. Appreciate you stopping by.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Absolutely. Jennifer, let's just start, if we could, for a moment and ask the question of what is Albuquerque Celebrate Recovery and how did you get involved? Because I understand you've been involved for a while.
Yeah, I've actually been involved since the beginning. So, Albuquerque Celebrates Recovery is really, just like the name says, we're celebrating people who are in recovery. And that could mean recovery from a lot of different things. But, we focus on substance abuse and things that people struggle with on a daily basis. And then they go through the steps to actually start leading a new life. And so we want to celebrate that. Oftentimes we talk about addiction and death, but we don't necessarily talk about recovery.
Quickly, let's just summarize some of the things that people might be recovering from. Certainly, we could think of maybe alcohol recovery.
Right.
I don't know, drug addictions. Is there other things that maybe I'm missing, not thinking of?
Gambling,
okay.
Food addictions. There's a lot of things that people, an addiction is really defined as something that causes distress and disruption in your life. So
and that could be quite a few different things.
Yeah, there's a lot of things.
Well, Jeremy, I understand that you have been involved with Albuquerque Celebrates Recovery for a while, but kind of on a different side of it. Jennifer, you were involved in bringing this ministry forward. How have you been plugged in?
I had the great benefit of being plugged in through our incredible founder and visionary for Albuquerque Celebrates Recovery, our late friend Don Cariaga, who is an incredible voice and advocate in recovery and has been for many decades. We did lose him this year, but we're going on without him, and we're happy to do so. I was brought in, and I kind of begged to be a part of this group because my favorite thing to do, the one thing that I can admit to being pretty good at, is bringing people together. And that's what Albuquerque Celebrates Recovery is. When we're discussing how we define a person in recovery or areas of recovery, it's far larger than addiction. We're talking about behavioral health, mental health of all sorts.
How did it help you?
For me, when I was 17 years old living in Albuquerque, I found myself, just as any person in addiction does, unexpectedly addicted to heroin. That didn't last long for me. I was able to get clean when I was young. Luckily, I was...
Praise God for that.
Praise God for that. It was the pure definition of divine intervention, and I was able to be clean and sober by the age of 18, and celebrating about 10 years now.
So as you think about that, Jeremy, because you had your own battle, right, have you been able to connect with other people and say, hey, let me show you something that could really help you out? Has that worked for you as a connecting point, or how has it really processed the struggle that you had to where you find yourself today?
Absolutely. And that's what Albuquerque Celebrates Recovery at its core is. We are able to identify people seeking recovery, already in recovery, and help them on the journey and teach them that the best way to maintain your recovery and have joy in your recovery is to help others seeking recovery.
Have you seen growth, Jennifer, over the course of the last several years? This ministry began when? When did you guys actually start?
Oh gosh, it was probably 2016, I believe. And we started...
5 years or so.
Yeah, it started pretty small. And it was on Civic Plaza, so through word of mouth and advertising and our generous sponsors, we've grown over the years. We had a virtual event last year due to COVID, and unfortunately this year we're moving to a virtual event as well. But it's still, we have a lot of momentum that we've gained over the past couple years. We have a lot of great sponsors, and we have a lot of great participants. So I anticipate even a virtual event, we're going to have pretty good turnout.
Wonderful. We're going to continue talking to our friends from Albuquerque Celebrates Recovery and bring in Ann Edenfield Sweet right after this.
Start your day with some encouragement from New York Times best-selling author and practical Bible teacher Joyce Meyer.
God is not mad if we've not arrived. He's just happy that you're here today wanting to learn more.
You'll be refreshed and strengthened as you hear powerful messages of hope and transformation.
God, I want you to lead me and guide me, and I'm going to do what you want me to do. I don't care what it costs.
We're going to continue our conversation about Albuquerque Celebrates Recovery, and we have now with us Ann Edenfield-Sweet joining with Jennifer Weiss-Burke, and we're going to continue talking about an upcoming event. Ann, I want to go to you right away. Tell us about the event. When is the event? I understand it's virtual from what Jeremy was saying. Fill in some blanks.
Typically, let me tell you what a typical program would look like.
All right.
September is Recovery Month across the country. And so we focus in, of course, September in Albuquerque. So we started, and we always start with an art show. So somebody could go down to the El Chante. I always forget the name of that. And I went down for the opening night. We have people in recovery that are artists that do an art show. So that's a wonderful event. We do that at the beginning. Then we always do a powwow. And so the Native American dancing, and that's a wonderful event. And then at the end of the month, we have typically been down at Civic Plaza, and we have up to 100 different vendors. We've had thousands of people down there. We've had wonderful sponsors. Chick-fil-A has provided all kinds of food for us. And it's a place for people in recovery, people looking for places in recovery, the vendors that are providing different things. And what I thought would be kind of fun with all of us is Jen runs a house for people in recovery. Jeremy works for an organization in recovery. And then, of course, with Wings, we're helping the families.
So the event can't be at Civic Plaza, I gather, this year because of still restrictions that are applying. So that's what's going to be live streamed. Is that right? That's what's going to be a virtual event? Is that how you're going to do it? How's it going to all come together since the convention can't get together live?
We're going to do a number of different online events throughout the course of September. So we're not really going to have like one big thing on September 30th, but we're going to be doing a lot of interviews with people in recovery, family members, sponsors, different organizations that help people in recovery.
Are they on your Facebook site? Are they on YouTube? Where do people see them?
They'll be on Facebook. So we'll be doing some Facebook Live events, and then we'll also be doing some pre-recorded events. So everything can be found on our Facebook page, which is just found under Albuquerque Celebrates Recovery.
Okay. All right.
Actually, albuquerquerecovery.com.
All right. So
for our website,
for the website.
abqrecovery.com.
Just look at the bottom of the screen and type it in, and that'll direct you there, and we'll get you all squared away. When do those events begin to populate? When are they going to start coming up?
Well, they've actually already started. So we've been doing, Jeremy's done several interviews already. We have one that's tonight at 7:15.
Okay.
So we're just kind of doing them throughout the month. So just tune into our Facebook page. You can actually select the option to be notified when an event is going live, and so you'll get the notification on your phone.
All right, sounds good. Well, there's a lot of great things that are coming up here in the next few weeks, the next few days, and so we're excited about all of that. And as you're looking forward, what do you really want to see happen after 2021? What would you hope to see carries into the future?
Well, first of all, we have so many wonderful sponsors that help us, and we are so thankful, and so please go to the website and see all these sponsors. But what we want to see is that we want to help people get into recovery, encourage those, and celebrate with their recovery. But if somebody's at home and they're listening and they've got somebody that is dealing with addiction, we want to reach out, contact us through Albuquerque Celebrates Recovery, and we will be there to help. There are hundreds of people that will be there to help.
As you think about all the things that are happening over the course of the last 5 years, are you seeing things getting better? Are you seeing things getting worse? Tell us what's happening in Albuquerque.
Well, for me, tragically, of course, addiction causes so much crime. And so I see that is a real problem. And so we need to continue to educate. We need to help people get out of recovery, help their children get out of recovery, and not have these issues that are continuing. And so, of course, that's what we're always working on. And so that's our goal. We want to cut crime. We want to have Albuquerque be the healthiest in our country, the healthiest, safest place to be.
You know, it takes everybody working on it.
It does.
It's not, we like to say, the mayor needs to come up with it, the governor needs to come up with it, but realistically, all of us are going to have to work on helping families and individuals and sharing. Are you encouraged, both of you encouraged at progress? Do you feel like we're static? Do you feel like we're declining? How are we doing? And with people that are battling through some of these things.
I think it's a community effort, and so I am encouraged by the fact that the community is talking about it and that it becomes a relevant topic, and so that part encourages me for sure.
Definitely look at the screen, find out about how you can go to the Facebook page and website, and make sure to stay